This morning in our Consumer Confidential, valuable information for anyone even thinking about taking a new job. Today, LinkedIn is out with their annual list of top companies, the best employers for growth, success, and perks. Here with an exclusive first look is LinkedIn's editor-in-chief, Dan Roth. Dan, good morning.
Good morning.
We always love when you're here, especially when, people are getting themselves out into the job market. Which companies are the top companies? How do you decide who's the best?
Yeah, sure. So we're looking for the companies that are best for long-term career growth. We measure against a number of different categories, but it's things that we know will turn into the kind of careers that people want. So it's like, are you gaining skills in those jobs? Are you gaining a good network? Are you being surrounded by people who will help you? And are you getting promoted while you're there? We look at all the data, we rank them in a bunch of different countries, and then we give you these lists that are, and the idea is like not just great places to work, but great places for your career for the long term.
All right, let's take a look at the top 5 here and talk about what made, some of these companies rise to the top. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Yeah, so we got PwC at number 5, Deloitte, Wells Fargo, Amazon, and we have a new number 1, which is JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase really stood out for their commitment to attracting and building a really wide range of employees across the country. So they're doing things like making sure that even if you don't have a college degree, you can get a great job at JP Morgan Chase. They have a whole program in place. If you've taken a career break, they want to bring you back. It's 10 years running now. They've got something called a clean slate policy that says if you've gotten in trouble with the law in the past, it doesn't matter to them. Wow. 10% of the people they hired last year had criminal records, which is pretty wild. They are putting jobs in places around the country where other companies are ignoring. So they've got a huge job place in Detroit and in Baltimore for doing virtual call centers. And they're training people. They're upskilling them in those areas. And then they're just like committing to growing skills of people that other companies are sort of ignoring. And the last thing is they promote from within. So a quarter of the people who got to MD this year, managing director this year, started as analysts. This means you can start there at the bottom and you work your way up.
That's great.
And you say another through point with all these companies, learning. Like we've always heard about companies wanting to help you grow new skills, but you said now companies are really leaning into this.
Yeah, learning is like the buzzword. And it's not just like tuition reimbursement. A lot of companies offer that, but it's things like internal mobility is really big. Continental will put you in a job anywhere in the world for a short-term stint. You can learn that role. Amex is doing things like buddy programs where they'll pair you up with someone, again, internationally, and in leadership, and you can sort of learn from them and network. And then every one of these companies is AI. Wow. Amazon is training 2 million people on AI skills by 2025. Wow. PwC has a new program where they're putting 75,000 people through AI training. And I just talked to the CEO recently who was like, we don't just want them to learn these skills. We are telling managers you have to give people time to apply these skills so they can really sink in. They are determined to have an AI-first workforce.
That's incredible. A lot of folks look for certain perks when it comes to a new job. And you say the 3 Fs are very important. What are those?
It's family, flexibility, and fun. So for family, it's things like making sure that you can support childcare or elder care. It's helping people with giving their kids like tutoring so they can get through school well. On flexibility, KPMG, I thought this was cool. They are now timing company-wide days off to school calendars.
Oh,
that's pretty good. Pretty good. Yep. And then
where was that?
Finally.
I know. Every company should do this. And then on the fun part, we saw Wells Fargo. I love this. They have puppy petting programs where they're bringing in these foster dogs.
You don't want to get those confused.
I cannot get that right. And then a number of the companies told us they're bringing in pickleball courts to help people play while they're working.
So older people can get injured.
All of us.
So if you're watching at home right now or you have a relative who's looking for a job, how do you stand out with some companies like this to get hired?
Yeah, there's like 3. First of all, every one of these companies is hiring. There's 85,000 open jobs among these 50 companies. 1/3 of them are hybrid jobs, and about 10% are remote jobs. So this is really good. They tell us that they are looking for sort of 3 key soft skills: is communication, adaptability, and then how well you can sort of work with others. They want to make sure that you are someone that can work well within a team. And then they find out whether that you have those skills or not during the interview process. So Synchrony Bank is a good example. They told us one of their interview questions is, when have you challenged the status quo? And what happened when you did it? And they're trying to find out, like, do you stand up? Do you say what you believe in? Do other people get on board with that when you do? They want people who have, like, big, adventurous mindsets and are kind of pushing the company to a new place.
This is great. I think this makes everyone very hopeful.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, going
willing to stand up and stick it to the man.
Yes.
Within boundaries.
Oh,
within boundaries.
Dan,
That was great. Thank you, Dan.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.